You didn't win, Anakin. You struck me down, yes. You severed the body, ended the life you once knew. But the Force does not end with death. It transcends it. You thought that killing me would silence me forever, that it would erase what I was. But here I am, still speaking, still watching, still believing. You didn't win. Not then. Not now.
You dare speak that name to me? That name is dead, buried, forgotten. You, of all people, should know what it meant, and what I had to become to leave it behind. Do not try to bring it back, Obi-Wan. That name no longer holds power over me, except as a reminder of everything that was lost because of you.
You may wear the armor, the mask, the name. You may hide behind the steel and fire of the Empire, but it does not undo who you were. It does not erase the truth. The Force remembers. I remember. You can silence your voice, your name, your soul, but not the ripples you made. Not the man who once stood beside me, who once believed. That cannot be undone. Not truly.
You are dead. You were defeated. A ghost with no substance, no strength, just a fading echo of a failed age. The Jedi are gone. You should have passed on with them, into silence. Yet here you are, whispering your delusions like they mean something. You are nothing, Kenobi. Nothing but a flicker in the void.
Then why do you still hear me? Why do my words find you in the silence of your chambers? Why does my voice still echo in the back of your mind when all is quiet? You feel the disturbance, don't you? Not just in the galaxy, but in yourself. Something inside you is still listening, still aware. That is why I'm here. That is why I can be here.
You haunt me not because you are right, but because you are weak. Because you failed me. You failed her. You failed the order you swore to protect. And now you come crawling from the shadows to speak of hope, to tell me how the galaxy should be. You haunt me because you couldn't save me, and you know it.
I don't come because of the past. I don't come because of vengeance or regret. I appear now because somewhere, buried beneath the pain, beneath the fury, beneath everything you've built around yourself, something remains. Something in you still hears the light, still feels it. It's faint, but it's there. A part of you has never stopped listening. You don't want to, no matter how much you pretend otherwise.
The dark side gave me power, real power, more than you ever allowed, more than the Council would ever trust me with. While you preached patience and peace, I watched worlds burn and children die. I begged for the strength to stop it, and the Jedi offered nothing. But Sidious, he gave me purpose, he gave me fire, he gave me control.
Power, yes. You have it in abundance. The galaxy trembles at your command. But has it brought you peace? Has it given you what you sought? You command legions, you crush worlds, but you sleep alone inside this iron tomb. You search the stars endlessly, not for justice, not for victory, but for what you lost, for what was taken, or perhaps for what you gave away.
You speak of things you cannot understand. You hide behind the Force like a shield, pretending it speaks only to you. But you were blind, all of you, blind to the pain, to the war, to the rot inside the Republic. You knew nothing of the real cost. You stood above it all and called yourselves wise, while everything fell apart beneath you.
I understand better than you think. You believe no one else could understand the storm inside you, the pull, the pain, the loss. But I was there. I saw it begin, and I saw where it led. You chose this path, but the galaxy has not followed you. The rebellion stands because the people still believe there is a better way. They fight not because they are strong, but because they have hope. And that makes them stronger than you can imagine.
Hope is a lie. It's a fantasy the Jedi clung to like children in the dark. It blinded them to reality. While the galaxy cried out, they meditated in silence. While people suffered, they spoke of balance. Hope doesn't feed the hungry or end war. It only delays the inevitable. It is a weakness, one I tore from myself long ago.
And yet, that hope, it spreads. It survives. Even after the fires, the fear, the oppression, it flickers in every dark corner of the galaxy, in every child who dreams of peace, in every pilot who flies into battle knowing they may not return, in every whisper of your name, not in fear, but in defiance. You can destroy their weapons, their homes, their cities, but you cannot destroy what lives inside them.
I will end them. Every last rebel, every whisper of resistance. I will crush their bases, burn their worlds, erase their leaders. One by one, I will turn their hope into fear, and their fear into obedience. And when they look to the stars for salvation, they will see me. I will become the darkness that even dreams cannot escape.
You tried that, with me. You stood over me, blade in hand, thinking you had ended it. But you didn't destroy my hope. You didn't destroy me. And the same will happen again. You cannot extinguish the light by force. You cannot kill what the force itself protects.
Do not speak his name. You have no right. He is mine to deal with. My burden, my consequence. You will not twist him with your lies. I see what you are doing, planting seeds, stoking doubt. But it will not work. He will never become what you hope. I will ensure it.
I am more now than I ever was in life. I am not bound by flesh, or fear, or time. I am part of something greater, and so is the rebellion. So is Luke. You may try to crush them, you may try to bend them, but you cannot stop what they carry inside. It is greater than you, greater than me. It is the future.
Then that future is built on illusions, on a lie whispered by traitors and fools. You call it light, I call it weakness, given form. You speak of your rebellion as if it is invincible, but I have seen it broken. I have torn hope from the mouths of dying men. If that is your something greater, then it will fall just like everything else. You are not free, Obi-Wan. You are chained to a dream that has already died, and I am the one who buried it.
He is stronger than you know, stronger than I ever dared believe possible. Not because of anger, not because of vengeance, but because of his compassion, his faith, his willingness to see what others refuse to. He does not fear you, Anakin, because he sees not the monster you pretend to be, but the man you were, and that terrifies you.
You speak of him like he is untouched, as if he does not carry his own doubts, his own rage. You think compassion is strength? It is a blade without a hilt, beautiful until it cuts the hand that holds it. He will learn, as I did, what mercy costs. And if he looks at me and sees Anakin, then he is even more naive than you. He does not frighten me, but the mirror he holds up does, because in it, I see what I might have been.
Then why do you tremble when I say his name? Why does the air grow colder? Why does your silence speak louder than your threats? Because deep down, you feel it. He is coming, and he will not meet you as an enemy. He will face you as a son.
The dark side does not tremble, but you are right about one thing. There is a storm coming, and he will come, and when he does, He will see what the Jedi never taught him, what you never taught him. That sentiment is a wound that never heals. If he calls me father, it will be his last breath. I do not want his love. I want his loyalty, or his silence.
You cannot kill me again, old friend. You ended my life, but not my presence, not my purpose. And the more you try to silence me, the louder the Force allows me to become. You can roar, rage, strike down planets. But I will always be here. As long as there is hope, as long as there is light, I will remain.
Then I will burn the galaxy until there is no light left. I will bury your voice beneath the screams of the dying, drown your presence in shadows so deep the Force itself forgets your name. You think your death gave you strength? You think this hollow echo is power? You are wrong, Obi-Wan. The only voice that will echo through the stars will be mine.
We will meet again, Anakin. Not in anger, not in war, but in the space between who you are and who you were meant to be.
There is no between. There is no Anakin. There is no man behind this mask. Only fire, only fury, only Vader. And if we meet again, it will not be in peace. It will be in the moment I erase you completely and prove that I was right to leave that broken boy behind.
Come, you have. Long have I waited, felt the tremors in the Force, sensed the moment you would pass beyond the veil of life. The currents, they whispered of your coming, of your presence returning not as before, but as something more. And now, here you stand, between what was and what shall be. A moment this is, a moment long in the making.
Master Yoda, it has been far too long. So many years have passed since I last looked upon your face with my own eyes. Since we stood side by side, brothers of the Order, protectors of the peace. I never imagined our next meeting would be like this, across the veil, between the living and the Force. And yet seeing you here now, it brings me a sense of peace I haven't known in a very long time.
Old friend, alive, you are not. Yet here you stand. Strange it is to see you again. Not as you were, but as the Force has shaped you. As light, as memory, as something that does not fade. A presence strong as ever, bound not by flesh, but by will. The Force, still strong in you, it is. A gift, this is. An echo, a whisper, yet more than that. Proof that even in passing, a Jedi's journey is never truly done.
I suppose I took after you in more ways than one, Master. Quiet exile on a distant world, communing with the Force, clinging to what little remained. You vanished to Dagobah, and I to the sands of Tatooine. We both hid away, watching, waiting, guarding hope from the shadows. I didn't just learn from your teachings. I became a reflection of them, even in isolation. And now, even in death like you, I persist.
Persistent, you always were. Stubborn, determined, never content to let things be as they were. Talk too much, you did. Question, always question. Why this? Why that? The way of things hard to accept it was for you. Still, this has not changed. That spark within you remains as it always was, as it always will be. No easy path, yours has ever been. And now, beyond death, still questions you seek. Still, the fight within you burns.
I knew it was coming. That final moment aboard the Death Star. I knew it the second I saw him. I could feel the storm behind that mask, the weight of years, of hatred, of sorrow, and in truth I welcomed it. My purpose had narrowed to a single point. I had spent so long running, hiding, surviving in silence. And yet in that moment I felt clarity. Not fear, not doubt. Only a strange sense of release. A return to the Force. Felt inevitable.
Felt it. I did. The moment you fell. The moment you became one with the Force. A great shift. A ripple through the currents of all things. The moment it happened, knew I did. Your time in the physical world ended it had. But lost, you were not. Number lost, no Jedi ever is. A part of the Force you became, as all do in time. And yet, knew I did, that this was not the end. That beyond, you would find your path once more.
I did not expect to survive our duel on the Death Star, Master. I don't think I wanted to. After everything I had seen, after everything I had failed to prevent, facing Anakin again wasn't just a mission. It was penance, a reckoning. I believed I had nothing left to give. And so, when the blade came for me, I embraced it. I thought perhaps this was how I could finally bring balance, by becoming part of the Force and guiding Luke from beyond.
Ready, you were. Or, willing, you hope to be. A difference there is. To be ready is to accept what is to come. To be willing is to let go of what you were. Embrace what you must become. Knew you did, what would happen. Accepted it, perhaps. But peace, truly, did you find in that moment? Or hope did you hold that more there was to do?
For years I have carried the burden of knowing what Anakin became, what I allowed him to become. I trained him. I watched him rise, and I watched him fall. I believed in him more than I ever believed in myself, and he destroyed everything. I have replayed that moment on Mustafar in my mind more times than I can count. I told myself that Darth Vader was all that remained, that Anakin Skywalker had died there on that molten ground. And I believed, when I next saw him, it would be the final chapter for us both.
A gift the Force has given you, to guide, to watch, to teach still. An end this is not. No, no. A new beginning this is. A path not yet walked, a lesson not yet learned. To pass into the Force, to become more than a man, to exist beyond time and space. Powerful, yes, but purpose, still, there must be. The Force calls not without reason. Still work to do you have. Lessons to teach, wisdom to pass.
But Luke, he changed everything. The moment I saw him, I knew he was different. He carried the weight of legacy, yes, but not the anger, not the fear, not the recklessness. He wasn't me. He wasn't his father. He was something new, something pure. He reminded me of what the Jedi were meant to be. And in his eyes I saw the future. Not my future, but the future. And in that moment I understood. My story was done, but his was only just beginning.
But peace within you, I do not sense. Fear, still, there is. Fear of what has been, fear of what remains. Let go, you have not. Heavy, the weight is, of the past. Heavy, the burden of what was lost. And yet hold it, you still do. Afraid you are to release it, to accept that which cannot be undone. Shadows, they follow you, old friend. And until you let them pass, always they will remain.
There is no light left in Vader, Master. I have searched for it, reached for it, hoped for it, but I have found only emptiness. The man I once called brother, friend, he is buried beneath so much hate, so much pain. I cannot believe there is anything left of Anakin Skywalker. Not anymore. Whatever Luke sees in him, I fear it is only illusion,
Not so simple it is. Not so final. Not so absolute.
I have seen what he is. I have felt it. Standing so close to him, the dark side pours off of him like a storm. It chokes the air, strangles the light. The man I knew, the Jedi I trained, he is gone, obliterated. Vader is not a shadow of Anakin, he is a replacement. And I believe, no, I know, that whatever once lived in him is long dead beyond recall.
Still, within him, something remains. Clouded it is. Lost. Buried. But gone? Number gone? He is not. Darkness thick around him. Suffocating. Consuming. But beneath, something lingers. A whisper. A flicker. The light snuffed out. You believe? Number dim, perhaps. But waiting. Waiting for the moment to rise again.
Master, please. Don't ask me to believe something that could cost us everything.
Know it. You do. Fear it. You do. Hope you do not allow. To see it. To believe it. To open your heart to it. You refuse. Safer it is to hold on to what you have known. To accept the ending you have written. But the Force moves as it will. Not bound by our fears, not ruled by our expectations. You know the truth. You feel it. And yet, deny it. You do. Because to accept it is to hope again. And that, old friend, frightens you more than anything.
Hope is dangerous. It blinds us. It gives us false comfort when we need clarity. I've seen hope turn to ash too many times. It was hope that made me think I could save Anakin. Hope that told me I could be enough. And it was hope that allowed me to stand by while the Republic died. If we are to win this time, we cannot afford to hope. Not blindly.
Hope. It is all we have left. The darkness grows. The shadow deepens. The past is heavy. But hope still. It lingers. Without it, we are lost. Without it, all we fought for is nothing. And even in the darkest places, even in the coldest void, a single spark of hope can ignite the flames once more.
Luke must be ready. He must not hesitate. If there's even a moment of doubt, if he goes into that confrontation thinking he can save Vader instead of stopping him, we risk everything. I've seen what hesitation costs. I won't let it happen again. Not to him.
A test his heart will face. And if strong, he is. The light, he will restore. But tested, he will be. Tempted, he will be. Fear, doubt, loss, face them he must. And stand he must. Or fall, all will.
And if he fails, then all is lost. The rebellion, the hope of the Jedi, the future. Everything we fought for, everything we suffered for, it will all vanish. The Emperor will win, Vader will remain, and the galaxy will never know peace. That is why we cannot gamble on sentiment. We cannot afford to believe that Vader can come back. We have to be ready for the end.
Then fail, we all shall. If his path wavers, if the moment is lost, if fear wins, then all we have fought for, all we have sacrificed, will crumble. This, you know. This, I know. But faith, we must have. In him. In the Force. In the light that is never truly left. Difficult, this journey will be. Full of uncertainty. Full of risk. But lost, we are not. Not yet. Not while hope remains. Not while the Force still moves. And not while there are those willing to fight for it. Believe you must, or lost you already are.